Gentlemen, I have some good news and some bad news. Which would you prefer?
Good news.
Just a bit of good news.
Good news.
Good news. Okay.
It's just a public service announcement, sponsored by Just Blaze and the good folks at Rockefeller Records.
It is with the utmost pride and sincerity that I present this recording as a living testament and recollection of history in the making during our generation.
I'm sure that... Gentlemen, I have some good news and some bad news. Which would you prefer?
Good news.
Just a bit of good news.
Good news.
Good news. Okay.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here, and thank you very much for coming here tonight.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I would like to know, I'm not a meditator. What does meditation, can you say anything about how meditation might connects to your creative process or might help the creative process of my students or myself?
Yes, I can.
Will you?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Tonight's talk is consciousness, creativity, and the brain. And if you have a golf ball-sized consciousness, when you read a book, you'll have a golf ball-sized understanding. When you look out, a golf ball-sized awareness. And when you wake up in the morning, a golf ball-sized wakefulness. But if you could expand that consciousness, then you read the book, more understanding. You look out, more awareness. And when you wake up, more wakefulness. It's consciousness. And there's an ocean of pure, vibrant consciousness inside each one of us. And it's right at the source and base of mind, right at the source of thought, and it's also at the source of all matter. And Maharishi Mahesh Yogi teaches a technique called Transcendental Meditation. It's a simple, easy, effortless technique, yet supremely profound, that allows any human being to dive within, experiencing subtler levels of mind and intellect, and transcend and experience this ocean of pure consciousness. This pure consciousness is called by modern physics the unified field. It's at the base of all mind and all matter. And they now say, modern science says, all of matter, everything that is a thing, emerges from this field. And this field has qualities like bliss, intelligence, creativity, universal love, energy, peace. And it's not the intellectual understanding of this field, but the experiencing of it that does everything. You dive within and transcending, experiencing this field of pure consciousness, and you enliven it, you unfold it, it grows. And the final outcome of this growth of consciousness is called enlightenment. And enlightenment is the full potential of all of us human beings. And a side effect of enlivening this consciousness is negativity starts to recede. When I started meditating, I was filled with anxieties, filled with fears, kind of a depression and anger. And I took this anger out on my first wife, and after 2 weeks of meditation, she comes to me and she says, "What's going on?" And I was quiet for a moment because it could have been any number of things she might have been referring to. But I finally said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "This anger, where did it go?" And I didn't even realize it had lifted. Now, these negative things like anger and depression and sorrow, they're beautiful things in a story, but they're like a poison to the filmmaker. They're a poison to the painter. They're poison to creativity. They're like a vice grip. If you are super depressed, you can't hardly get out of bed, let alone think ideas, have that creativity flowing. So it's money in the bank to get that beautiful consciousness growing, which is flowing creativity, the ability to catch ideas at a deeper level, intuition grows. This field is a field of pure knowingness. You dive in there, you sort of just know how to go. You know how to solve solutions. It's like an ocean of solutions. And you can just feel this thing growing. But the ultimate thing for me is the enjoyment of the doing, the enjoyment of life grows huge. Creativity flows. People look like friends and not like enemies. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it's us. In Vedic science, this field of pure consciousness is called Atma, the self of us all. At that level, as Dr. John Hagelin would tell you, at that level of life, we are all one. We're one. Diversity up here, unity down below. It's a great thing. It's a great thing.
Thank you.
I would like to have a glass of water, if that's possible. Okay.
Hey, Jay, bless you, man.
It's really good. It's not quite as good as pure consciousness, but it's really good.
Hello.
How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Good.
Been meditating for a while. I want to know if there was a moment where you realized the effect that pure consciousness had on your work.
Right from the very beginning. And like I said, I might have been, I think I had so many anxieties and fears, and I felt those lifting. And bliss is a thing in this field, the unified field. Bliss, they say, is the sweetest nectar of life. Bliss is physical, emotional, mental, spiritual happiness. And you can vibrate with this bliss. And it's this happiness from within. They have a saying, true happiness isn't out there, true happiness lies within. And I always wondered, where is this within? And they don't say where it is, and then they don't even say how to get to it. This is the beauty of this technique. There's lots of forms of meditation, but with transcendental meditation, to me the key is the word transcend, to dive all the way in. It's a huge realm between the surface of life and this fundamental pure consciousness, but it's there. And when you're in it, you know you're in it. It's familiar, but it's you. And right away, a happiness, but it's not like a goofball happiness. It's a thick beauty. It's a thick beauty to appreciate life and living. And why suffer? Suffering starts to go. And people say, well, you got to have anger. You got to have an edge, to create. You got to know about anger. You got to have energy. You got to have clarity to create. You got to be able to catch ideas. You got to be able to be strong enough to fight unbelievable pressure and stress and the whole thing in this world. That will lift, because this whole thing is tied to world peace, but it's going to be a better world, but it's still a very tough world. And this just gives you more and more and more ability to say, it just looks beautiful. It's way, 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 way better. And this happened right away.
Thank you.
You bet.
Gentlemen, I have some good news and some bad news. Which would you prefer?
Good news. A bit of good news. Good news.
Good news. Okay.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was near the station. Black roof country, no gold pavement, tired starlings. Silver horses ran down moonbeams in your dark eye. Dawnlight smile on you leaving my contentment. I'll wait in this place where the sun never shines. Wait in this place where the shadows run from themselves. You said no strings could secure you at the station. Platform ticket, restless diesels, goodbye windows. I walked into such a sad time at the station. As I walked out, felt my own need just beginning. I wait in the queue when the trains come by. Lie with you where the shadows run from themselves. At the party, she was kindness in the hard crowd. Consolation for the old wound, now forgotten. Yellow tigers crouched in jungles in her dark eyes. She's just dressing goodbye windows, tired starving. I'll sleep in this place with the lonely crowd. Lie in the dark where the shadows run from themselves.
Gentlemen, I have some good news and some bad news. Which would you prefer?
Good news. A bit of good news. Good news.
Good news.
Okay. The good news is the engine has exploded and we're all going to die.
Perfect. Hello. Hey, Dr. Dave, Radio Rock. How's that good news?
I haven't yet told you how we're going to die. That's the bad news.
How are we going to die?
We're going to drown in the freezing waters of the North Sea.
Oh, shit.
Deary me.
There is a huge hole in the side of the boat, and in an unfortunate development, it transpires that the lifeboats are useless.
All right. I'm going to the studio. Harold, John, up here now.
This isn't going to happen.
Radio Rock Newsflash with John Mayford.
He's going in that the famous Radio Rock has a large hole in its side and is therefore sinking into the North Sea. Really quite fast.
So, a tiny crisis here. So if any of you out there knows anyone who suffers with a boat of any shape or form, give them a ring. Our coordinates are 5370 North 2. Sorry. 215 East. Here's a rather long record. I hope I'm here at the end of it.
Don't worry, the government won't actually let us die. They'll have to send out boats. They've heard every swear word we've ever spoken to them. They'll have to pick up a Mayday.
Nevertheless, we should move. Come on. I'm not sure we're in the right place at the right time.
You're going the wrong way, mate.
I'm really scared. Isn't anyone else really scared?
Up here. Up you go.
And the truth is plain to see. But I wander through my playing cards.
Yes. What do you want, for heaven's sake?
Absolutely. I absolutely could not justify the extra expenditure when there are so many other problems we need money for as a government, both home and abroad.
They might die, sir.
Happens to the very best. Night.
Okay. Mark, well done. Come in. And in those trousers. Not bad. Thank you, John. So, we'll be safe here for a while. The captain thinks we've got till dawn before we go the full Titanic. We've sent out an official distress call, and I'm sure someone will rescue us.
Really? Yeah?
They're all right.
Really?
They're all right.
Can I just say something then? I know I'm not the most popular guy on the boat. On the radio, I'm fine. In the flesh, there's something that people just don't warm to. I know. But I just want to say, the 3 years here have been closer to finding friendship than I've ever been in my life. And I'd rather have had that and die than not have had it and live. I think. Maybe not. No, actually.
Man, come on.
I just...
You're being ridiculous. Right? Look, this isn't...
I'm not popular.
No, that's... Every group needs a fall guy. Angie, and yeah, sure, you've been it. But it's not... It's just been a joke. You know? I mean, look at everybody who actually loves, and is proud as can be to count him in the number of their friends, just raise their hands. See? There we go.
David?
Be honest.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Right, good.
Where's Bob?
Come on.
Wait a minute, where's Bob? Guys, Bob!
Oh, wait another minute. So who's broadcasting?
No one. 203 meters on the medium wave band is silent for the first time.
Oh, excuse my language, but fuck that sideways, sir. Harold, F to you.
It is always now. I actually want to talk today about death. Now, most of us do our best not to think about death, but there's always part of our minds that knows this can't go on forever. Part of us always knows that we're just a doctor's visit away or a phone call away from being starkly reminded with the fact of our own mortality, or of those closest to us. Now, I'm sure many of you in this room have experienced this in some form. You must know how uncanny it is to suddenly be thrown out of the normal course of your life and just be given the full-time job of not dying or caring for someone who is. But the one thing people tend to realize at moments like this is that they wasted a lot of time when life was normal. It's not just what they did with their time. It's not just that they spent too much time working or compulsively checking email. It's that they cared about the wrong things. They regret what they cared about. Their attention was bound up in petty concerns, year after year, when life was normal. And this is a paradox, of course, because we all know this epiphany is coming. Don't you know this is coming? Don't you know that there's going to come a day when you'll be sick or someone close to you will die, and you'll look back on the kinds of things that captured your attention, and you'll think, what was I doing? You know this, and yet if you're like most people, you will spend most of your time in life tacitly presuming you'll live forever. I mean, it's like watching a bad movie for the 4th time, or bickering with your spouse. These things only make sense in light of eternity. There better be a heaven if we're going to waste our time like that. Okay, there are ways to really live in the present moment. Okay, what's the alternative? Okay, it is always now. However much you feel you may need to plan for the future, to anticipate it, to mitigate risks, the reality of your life is now. Now, this may sound trite, but it's the truth. It's not quite true as a matter of physics. In fact, there is no now that encompasses the entire universe. You can't talk of an event being simultaneously occurring here and one at the same moment occurring in Andromeda. The truth is, now is not even well defined as a matter of neurology, because we know that inputs to the brain come at different moments, and that consciousness is built upon layers of inputs whose timings have to be different. Our conscious awareness of the present moment is, in some relevant sense, already a memory. But as a matter of conscious experience, the reality of your life is always now. And I think this is a liberating truth about the nature of the human mind. In fact, I think there's probably nothing more important to understand about your mind than that, if you want to be happy in this world. The past is a memory. It's a thought arising in the present. The future is merely anticipated. It is another thought arising now. What we truly have is this moment, and this, and this. And we spend most of our lives forgetting this truth, repudiating it, fleeing it, overlooking it. And the horror is that we succeed. We manage to never really connect with the present moment and find fulfillment there because we are continually hoping to become happy in the future. And the future never arrives. Now, even when we think we're in the present moment, we're in very subtle ways always looking over its shoulder, anticipating what's coming next. We are always solving a problem. And it's possible to simply drop your problem, if only for a moment, and enjoy whatever is true of your life in the present. This is not a matter of new information or more information. It requires a change in attitude. It requires a change in the attentiveness you pay to your experience in the present moment.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, for your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk, ever walk, ever walk alone.
Take 11.
Probably a good thing.
You ready? Right, let's make this the one.
There's a new world somewhere they call the promised land, and I'll be there someday if you Swirling ship, all my senses have been stripped, and my hands can't feel to grip, and my toes too numb to step. Wait only for my boot heels to be wandering. I'm ready to go anywhere, I'm ready for to fade onto my own parade. Cast your dancing spell my way. I promise to go under it. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there ain't